What's up, my friends? U.S. Army veteran Christopher Chaos, and today we're checking out this video that has surfaced on the internet that has gone viral, I guess you can kind of say, in a lot of ways, for some individuals anyways, and you know, it's coming under a lot of scrutiny as far as things that are happening in the video as these 10th Mountain Division soldiers are going through the shoot house and some things that you probably want to pay attention to. If you're not familiar with this type of training, the shoot house type of training is like mount training. So you're going through for close quarters combat for CQB, and soldiers learn how to like clear rooms and kind of go through tactically and how they would do that as a team. This is a very common task for like your 11 Bravos, your infantry, scouts, certain other individuals will practice this frequently. A lot of other soldiers will maybe do this here and there, kind of a thing as basic soldiering skills, but definitely not put as much emphasis on it as like your infantry individuals will. I have done it several times, definitely not to the same extent as like an 11 Bravo would, but I do have a little bit of experience, not to say that I'm an expert by any means, but I have done it a few times, several times actually. Some people are criticizing like certain tactics they do inside of here. There's things way beyond just specifically someone not doing a specific tactic the right way that's more important in this video that we're gonna kind of check out. The 10th Mountain Division is at a Fort Drum, New York, so these soldiers were conducting this training. I believe it was recorded by one of the soldiers. I think it first surfaced on TikTok, I think I heard. And from what people are kind of gathering, this may have taken place several months ago. It's not like a recent thing that's happened. It's just kind of starting to surface now, but it's something that may have taken place several months ago. So let's go through and let's check out this footage of these soldiers going through to do some close quarter combat training. So first the soldiers are coming in. This is live rounds, by the way. These are live rounds that they're using. This isn't blanks, live rounds. The main things that's gonna first come up is coming up here in a minute as the next soldier is going to go in to open up the next door. Here, flagging all of the soldiers. The term flagging just basically means that the muzzle of the weapon is, you know, crossing paths with friendlies. So flagging them is a common term in the military to represent that you're flagging your friendly forces. That is not the right way to do it. So that is one of the biggest things that is the concern about the video, is that these soldiers, not just this one soldier that you see the video footage from, other soldiers as well, are flagging the friendlies and they're using live rounds. So the possibility of accidents happening that could possibly kill someone is very risky here. We're using live rounds, the weapons are probably on fire because you're going through to do a live fire. You're not gonna switch it between safe and fire every single time you go to a different room because you're practicing as if you would do in a actual scenario of clearing some rooms. So you have your weapon on, probably off of safe, on fire, and going through these rooms and firing at these targets. So let's look at us some more, because this isn't an isolated incident. You also see that the other soldier that's, you know, in the camera in view or whatever also is flagging some of the soldiers as well. So here they're gonna go into the next room, kind of flagging at the feet, not, you know, as obvious of a thing as you see some other kind of examples here. But when they get ready to clear the next door, you will see that kind of continue here. So here these soldiers are coming up, that soldier's still doing it, but even the soldier on the far end, he's still flagging. He kind of lowers his weapon right there a little bit, but you know, it's still kind of the damage is being done. Coming to the next room, and that's where the video basically just starts to repeat again. I first saw this video on an Instagram account called ZeroBlogThirty. I will link their Instagram down below if you want to check out some more of their content. That's where I saw this video come from originally first. I don't know if other places had it, you know, up before this one did, but this is where I first originally saw it. Now, an important thing to note, okay, the flagging part, yes, that's the main kind of concern because it's safety, right? We don't want to be flagging our friendlies because if something happens, you accidentally slip, trip, whatever the case might be, if something could possibly happen and you accidentally pull the trigger, then you could possibly, you know, cost someone their life. Now, there is a lot of other safety things that kind of go into it, right? You should have your weapon down, you should have your weapon off the trigger, and then maybe when you go into the room, then move your finger to the trigger to be ready to fire at a moment's notice. But when you have friendlies crossing in front of you, you obviously don't want to have the weapon pointed at them and you don't want to have the finger on your trigger either. Now, I'm gonna back up a little bit in the video because another important thing to note that other people are pointing out comes a little bit earlier in the video to take note of. So as we come through the video, you may notice there's people up on the catwalk. These are most likely the soldiers' leadership, some cadre, something along the lines. Depending on how this training is kind of going, these are probably people that are kind of somewhat in charge of this training to observe it. These are the people that would let them know, hey, what you did right, what you did wrong. And a lot of people are raising the flags as to why on earth are these NCOs or whoever they are that are up there on the catwalk not yelling at them to stop flagging each other. So that also raises a lot of concerns. The 10th Mountain Division Sergeant Major has addressed these issues. They are looking into it. They are, wanting to address safety and other things to it. And I think that's one of his concerns as well. Because yes, the soldiers definitely should not be pointing their weapons at the soldiers, but in this instance of them making that mistake, those individuals up there on the catwalk should be yelling down to them, hey, stop flagging your individuals. Maybe even calling for a ceasefire. Ceasefire means, hey, something not safe is happening, we need to stop, maybe talk about this and make sure that this doesn't continue to happen before someone ends up getting accidentally shot. So that is a lot of the main kind of two things, right? The soldiers themselves actually flagging other soldiers, but also the leadership that is possibly up there on the catwalk not correcting them on this and stopping them from continuing to do it throughout the rest of the rooms. When soldiers do this type of training, you usually have this kind of scenario with a lot of training really in the Army anyways. I don't know if other military branches kind of use this, but you have a crawl, walk, and a run phase, usually with a lot of training. In this case, when you're doing this type of training, the crawl phase, that comes from doing a dry run. You have absolutely no ammo. You go through, you're probably yelling bang, bang, bang when you're shooting kind of a thing, and you go through and practice that way. Then you have the walk phase. That usually has blank ammo. You have the blank adapters on the end of the muzzle of the rifle. You have blanks that don't actually fire any rounds. They're just making the sound essentially. And you go through and do a run that way with blank ammunition. Once you have done that, then you execute up to the run phase, which does execute with live ammo. So they should have gone through those different phases to get familiarized, to get proficient with it, and make any corrections. So hopefully those kind of things get corrected either during the dry run, during the blank run, and don't happen during the live fire run. Now here I want to show you how it should be done. All right, here's a good example that actually the 10th Mountain has up on YouTube that shows soldiers going through mount training, and it looks like probably even the same mount site that they're going through this training at. And you'll kind of see some of the things in this video that the other individuals were not doing properly that should have been corrected, hopefully during either the crawl or the walk phase before they got to the run phase. So here they're going through the door. They kind of probably throw in like a flashbang or a simulated flashbang. And they come through and they start firing at the targets, clearing the room and everything like that. But you'll notice that they're lowering their weapons. They do not have their weapons up pointing at the soldiers, right? This is also showing them probably going through some of the walk phases where they have blank adapters on their weapons, so showing them go through with blanks, and then also through it with live fire, with live rounds. But you'll also notice that during all these iterations, they're not flagging each other. They're keeping the weapon down, and that's how you should do it as you go through and you have friendlies crossing in front of you, and then once those friendlies clear, then you raise the weapon up to be able to engage the enemy or engage possible enemy that could come around the corner or whatever the case could possibly be. So that is the example, right? Weapons down, you come through the door, you bring it up, you have soldiers in front of you, maybe have it off to the side to where it's not directly facing at them, or you have it down until they can get clear. Even if they cross in front of you, you aim it down. This was also even the case like in Iraq when I was deployed to Iraq with crew serve weapons, right? If you had a convoy and you have cruiser weapons and another US convoy is passing by you, you'd usually like raise the cruiser weapon like the 50 cal or the 240 Bravo up into the sky, that you're not flagging the other convoy as they are passing by you. So this is a common practice, but nonetheless, mistakes were made. The Sergeant Major of the 10th Mountain Division has addressed it. They're looking into it, right? They're gonna probably look into individuals that are involved, leadership, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully make sure that this doesn't happen again, mainly because this is going to probably put a lot of spotlight on them, right? So everybody in that unit is gonna hear about this. Everybody already knows about this probably at this point in time and have been made aware of it, maybe through a formation, where all the information got put out. And from here on out, everybody's gonna remember, hey, remember that time we got in trouble because of X platoon or whatever it was, did this and this video came out? Well, now we have to make sure that we're doing it correctly, which is what it should be doing, obviously. But it's going to be a lot more focus put onto it, which is good because it draws that attention to the safety and making sure that people are doing the right thing and being safe. Will it go to the extent of like Article 15s? I don't know if it'll go that far. It'll probably definitely be something where corrective training, a stern talking to, I don't know if maybe the leadership could, face a little bit higher discipline in these, aspect of them not correcting them, maybe. But I don't know if it'll be something too serious with it. Mainly it'll probably come with just a lot of additional training to make sure that this doesn't ever happen again. Now, a good article that Task and Purpose did on this whole story and everything like that, I'm gonna link down in the description down below, so if you wanna read a lot more detail, especially like the comments from that Sergeant Major of the 10th Mountain Division, you can read a lot more and a lot more in-depth article down in the description box down below. I also want you to do me a favor. Take a look down below. Are you subscribed to this channel? I have a goal of hopefully in 2021 reaching 100,000 subscribers, and I can't do that without you guys. So do me a favor, maybe click on that, subscribe button, hit the like button. Check out these videos, right? I got some videos that I highly recommend if you want to check out some more content from me. Links in the description for all sorts of fun stuff. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Christopher Chaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya.